So, guys and girls, Ryan Martin from Revive here. Just want to shoot a video, a very important video, about why willpower won't work long term and what the key is to staying healthy, or to being healthy and staying healthy. Now, you've only got a certain amount of willpower and for a certain amount of things. And when it comes to diet and being healthy, as soon as you get stressed, then you can be pushed into a part of your brain where only safety and survival becomes. It's called your reptilian part of your brain. It's all about fight, flight, fornicate, for example, staying alive. And so when you're stressed, unless you've got responses in place, you usually react. And those reactions can be going for something that's sweet, because as we're young, we cry out. What happens is mum gives us mother's milk, so we associate mother's milk and sugar with comfort. What gets fire together gets wire together. Okay, so we need to obviously change that and actually become aware of that and actually give ourselves 10 seconds to step away from that. But the key to this is, because you've only got so much willpower in daily life, not to say the wrong thing at the wrong time, to go and work out, to have clean water, to reply to messages you're meant to. It's all willpower, it's all things you've got to do. And you've only got a certain amount of that before it wears out. And this is why it doesn't work long term, because eventually you might just think, well, to hell with it, I'm gonna grab that bit of chocolate, or I'm gonna have that cake, or I'm gonna have that bread. Now, the key to staying or getting healthy and staying healthy is to first become that person, to become the healthy person. You don't get healthy and then become a healthy person. First, mentally, you become that healthy person. And when that happens, you just become the person where having that chocolate cake or having that beer or bread, etc., becomes a treat, or it becomes a once in a while thing, not something you do every day. I get lots of clients all the time saying, I'm really craving this, I'm really craving that. It's like, are you craving it, or are the parasites craving it, for one? And two, are you the person that eats that? For example, I used to always have cups of tea every day, probably 5, 6, 7, 8 cups of tea a day. Sandwiches. I used to love a ham sandwich. I used to have bread in the morning, noon, and night. Or pasta, etc. These are just things I don't eat anymore. I just don't associate with them. They just don't even come into my mind. Bread, for example, it's just a poor man's food. Wheat, gluten, glyphosate for the main part. It's just highly energetic and inflammatory. It's terrible, and trust me, I could eat bread till the cows come home. We've got a bakery near us in Thaden Boys. It's one of the best bakeries I've ever known, independent, and I could go down there and I could clean out the house for bread and pastries, etc. But I don't. It's not something. It's something I just don't do anymore. It's just not me. It's just not in my sphere anymore. That's not something I associate with, because I just don't eat bread. Same way I don't have rancid oils. I don't have Cadbury's chocolate, for example. And you go out your way to have the healthier options, and you need to become that person. It's why we always talk about building towards your dream. When you associate with being fat or unhealthy, etc., or having an illness, you're always going to move towards doing things that are going to keep you overweight or keep you ill, etc. When you start associating with someone who's healthy and wants to live a better life, you start doing the actions, whether it be meditations, affirmations, whether it be going for discovery walks or exercising or eating right. And when I say eating clean, it's not like the eating clean nonsense you get in the fitness industry, where someone thinks having bananas on toast is healthy and having protein shakes filled with fillers, binders and carcinogenic ingredients is good for you. I'm talking about therapeutic supplements if you need them, and high quality organic produce and fermented foods, and having all these things. When you start looking at that and looking at the ingredients of your food and where it's coming from, yeah, of course you can step out once in a while and you have a social life and you do things, but they're the things you do once in a while. It's not the things you do once in a while that matters, the things you do the majority of the time. And it's simple, the way you do anything is the way you do everything. So you just become that person. You become the person, you put your health as a priority, and become something that you just end up doing that. For example, I'm not going to ever eat plain food. I take my food on the plane. I make sure I've got my supplements with me when I go away. I make sure I look before I book where I'm going to stay abroad that they've got a gym there, or there's places that I can eat, or they've got a Whole Foods or a supermarket that sells organic produce next to me. It's just things I do because this is who I am, and it's becoming that person that's the key. You're not the person who's just doing a program for a little while and you go back to being ill again. It's like people say, when can I start eating this again? It's like, well, if you want to be ill, start eating it right now. When can I start eating gluten again, or pasta, or whatever? Well, if you're healthy and you want to eat that stuff, go ahead. But if you keep on doing it, you won't be that healthy for long. You know, it's like a balloon. You keep on blowing it up, eventually it will burst. Maybe at 20, maybe at 30, maybe at 60, or eventually you'll be ill. You know, you keep on putting these negative energy foods into you, it's going to have a negative impact on you. And so it's just what I say to people, well, you just got to cut it out. It's just not something you want to have. Maybe if you go out and have a social occasion, you can have it, but in general, do you want to put food in your body that's going to cause problems? Is it going to cause you a gut issue? That's going to cause your skin to erupt? It's going to cause you to have brain fog, perform at a lower level? Is that something you want to do? Sorry, I'm just out of the shower, all over the place. So, yeah, you've got to become the person who looks to stay away from things that are going to harm them, and makes those sacrifices. Not even sacrifices, just something that you do. You just become it. You look for the healthier options, or they're not even healthy options. They're just the options you do. People say health and not. It's just, you know, it's like they have a healthy section at the supermarket. You know, what does that make everything else? Or a health section at the supermarket. What does that make everything else? You know, unhealthy. And yeah, it's just got arms going. It's just something that you have to become. You become that person where having the allergenic inflammatory foods isn't an option anymore. You don't want them, they make you feel terrible, and so you go out of your way, or you just start to become the person that just looks for the ways places to eat or exercise, or be able to go for walks, or different ways you can get your vitamin D, all these different things you can do, you know, staying away from toxic people, not being around people that lower your vibrational energy, and knowing the times you can do that, and the majority of the times that you just don't, you just live a different life. So that's the key. Willpower only lasts you so long. It's restriction, which means that I want to do that, but I can't do it. But if you have a mindset of, I could do it, but I choose not to, it's a very different place to come from. Because look, I could go and eat 10 bars of Cadbury's chocolate right now. Am I going to do it? No. For a million and one reasons. First of all, it would completely destroy my gut. Second of all, it's far too much sugar. Third of all, ingredients are absolutely terrible. Skin eruptions. Also, I don't want to fund companies like Cadbury's that are just an abomination to the planet and the world, and all sorts of things. And that's just one company. So just have a look. That's the main thing to take away from this, guys. You've got to become the healthy person. Then everything you do will push you towards being a healthier individual and obtaining health, and then staying healthy. Okay, it's a simple message for today, guys. Okay, become the healthy person, and everything else will fall in place. If you do need help getting there, then employ someone that you resonate with. One of our clients yesterday put up a great message. Was, if you think an expert is expensive, try employing an amateur. And it's very true. And it hasn't got to be us. It can be anyone you resonate with. If you struggle and you feel overwhelmed with things, or you need structure and a plan, or you need support and accountability, these are all reasons why you employ someone. You know, you go to a plumber when something goes wrong with your plumbing. You don't just start mucking around with it yourself. So yeah, if you need to, do that. But otherwise, become a healthy person, and things will start being a lot easier. Okay, guys? Ryan Martin from Revive. Stay happy, stay healthy. Speak to you soon.